I don't know if you actually follow Stephanie Phillips on social media, but this week she had a tweet that says, big announcement coming, like hashtag Marvel. And I was like, oh my God, who are they going to give this lady next? Maybe she's writing the Avengers or Doctor Strange. It's got to be an important character, right? And then we got this headline saying the best version of Punisher is returning to Marvel Comics. I certainly did not put two and two together that this was the Stephanie Phillips comic book that she's going to be writing. And I certainly don't get the take that Cosmic Ghost Rider is the best version of Punisher. He's not even Punisher. He's like a serial killer that became a Ghost Rider, but also a Herald of Galactus. Sure, he's called Frank Castle, but he's not actually like the 616 Frank Castle. He's not the Punisher. He's none of those things. He's something completely different, created by Donny Cates during his Thanos stuff, and he did have a short little mini-series with the character. It's pretty weird, wild, irreverent, kind of fun. Definitely get some pretty good jokes when that character comes onto the screen. He's certainly got a weird sense of humor. He's absolutely insane. He was driven insane. Not exactly a flagship character and not exactly something that I'm going to be all that upset with when Stephanie Phillips like destroys the character. The character doesn't have a lot of history. Probably best to be left in the hands of Donny Cates, who I guess is taking a siesta right now. At least from comic books writing, I guess he's going through a hard time. But this is the big project. Stephanie Phillips is on Cosmic Ghost Rider. The dumbest, best version of Frank Castle will ride again. In Cosmic Ghost Rider, a new ongoing series from writer Stephanie Phillips and artist Juan Cabal. Cosmic Ghost Rider is a version of Frank Castle who was the only human survivor in a universe where Thanos ruled, who made a deal with Mephisto to get revenge and later teamed up with Galactus' Herald, collecting all the powers of a serial killer, the Ghost Rider, and the Silver Surfer. In practice, he's an absolute idiot in an over-the-top outfit who uses his abilities to do things like go back in time and try to raise Thanos to be a nice person. Cosmic Ghost Rider for an ongoing series, I don't know. I don't think it's really needed or necessary. This thing has got miniseries in waiting written all over it. And why they thought of Stephanie Phillips, I don't get. The only good thing is it's not a popular character and it's not something people are going to be upset when she destroys, but Donny Cates should probably be writing this. If you couldn't get Donny Cates, like I said, he's busy apparently. He's got some stuff going on. Scott Snyder, who Donny Cates wishes he was. That would make sense for the character. Anybody with like a good sense of humor, somebody that just comes to mind is Michael Moriarty. If you read his Barbaric series, I think he would have a hella good time writing Cosmic Ghost Rider and doing some cool things with the character. But when you hear about what Stephanie Phillips is actually going to do, at least in the first story arc, it's pretty mundane, pretty boring. It's pretty much already been done with a lot of other characters in comic books. So nothing original, which you wouldn't expect really from Stephanie Phillips. If you've read her stuff over at DC Comics, where she's done most of her damage so far, it's Harley Quinn and it's terrible. It's Sensational Wonder Woman or something like that, which was even worse. I mean, I don't know why Stephanie Phillips keeps getting work at DC and Marvel Comics. She's not a hot name. She doesn't really move units, but I imagine she must be really cheap on the page rates. Sounds like Grimm has really been the breakout hit, but that doesn't have anything to do with superheroes. And it kind of makes sense. When you read her Harley Quinn series, you can tell that she doesn't like superheroes. She doesn't get superhero universes, and she doesn't get like action-based storytelling. Go put her on like a horror-themed comic book that has nothing to do with this stuff, and perhaps she can actually do a good job, like when she writes Grimm or stuff like that. But she is absolutely a fish out of water when it comes to DC and Marvel stuff. Wait till you hear the synopsis for this first issue. Vengeance reawakened. In a far-flung corner of deep space, Frank Castle has eked out a quiet existence. His days as Cosmic Ghost Rider finally behind him, but across the universe, a vicious bounty hunter is leaving a trail of bodies in his wake, and his name is Cosmic Ghost Rider. When Frank's peaceful existence is shattered, he must suit up once more and face his most savage enemy yet, himself. Be there for the start of a sprawling space adventure with shocking twists and turns in the saga of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Man, that's really original. We've never ever seen a hero fight themselves. We've never seen Superman fight himself. We've never seen Batman fight himself. I've certainly never seen Spider-Man fight himself. Like, can we do something or try to be original in here? Maybe do something that makes sense for the character. I guess there's another Frank Castle version of Cosmic Ghost Rider from another multiverse. Ooh, what a coinkydink. How fun and exciting. And you know, it's just going to be full of just random bullshit, which I guess kind of makes sense for the character if you read the miniseries and what Donny Cates has done with Cosmic Ghost Rider. But I don't know why the character is being brought back. Juan Cabal, the artist, not somebody that you avoid a comic book because he's the artist on it, but certainly not somebody that you buy a comic book because he's the artist on it. He's just like your run-of-the-mill average comic book artist. So at least they're not wasting anybody good on Cosmic Ghost Rider, which really won't sell. They'll try to do some things with some variant covers or whatever just to get the numbers up on the issue one. And then by issue 3, they probably announced that this is actually a mini series and it was planned all along or something like that. Is Stephanie Phillips somehow gets promoted to a bigger character like a Doctor Strange or something. I have no idea why Marvel and DC keep hiring this lady. She's so below average. She's not the worst, but she's not even passable when it comes to superhero comic book stories for the most part. Like, her Harley run is absolutely atrocious. She did have some stupid quotes about taking on Cosmic Ghost Rider. She thinks she's writing Punisher. I love the humor and absurdity of Cosmic Ghost Rider because he's a newer character. I feel like there's a lot of potential space, pun intended, to push him in new directions. I'm excited to play with Marvel's cosmic characters and write something that really feels new for me and for Frank Castle as well. Yeah, it's not Frank Castle. It's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yes, at one point he was Frank Castle, like on that Earth before it was destroyed, and he sold his soul to the devil, and he became the Ghost Rider, and then became a Herald of Galactus, and he's a serial killer and all that stuff. But he's actually not Frank Castle anymore. He's been this way for like a million years. Maybe it's a billion years that he and Galactus go like hunting Thanos down or something like that. He probably doesn't even remember what he was called, Frank Castle. I hate to break it to you. You are not writing Frank Castle. Hopefully Marvel Comics is smart enough to realize that Stephanie Phillips and Frank Castle Punisher would be a bad mix. You're writing a weird fake version of the character that has nothing to do with the actual Frank Castle people actually like. She had another quote that doesn't make sense considering she just got finished with Harley Quinn. Working on Cosmic Ghost Rider means blending absurdity and realism in ways that I don't think my previous work has allowed me to do. I also love the chance to explore Marvel's cosmic side and push Frank Castle in ways we haven't seen yet. As I previously mentioned, you're not actually writing Frank Castle. You're writing Cosmic Ghost Rider. As far as blending absurdity with reality, you were writing Harley Quinn. That character is the most absurd character in the DC Comics universe. She's their version of Deadpool. You should be pretty zoned in on mixing the two things because you've been doing it for like 2 years now or something like that. What do you mean you've never done this before? My bad. She's never actually written Harley Quinn competently since the very first issue of Harley Quinn Future State or whatever. Otherwise, her Harley run has been quite bad, but it is really absurd. It doesn't really blend well with reality. It's just really fucking stupid. Like, that's the best way you can describe Stephanie Phillips' Harley Quinn run. Another way to describe it would be utter bullshit, a waste of your money. How else could we describe it? Dog shit. Maybe that's the best way to describe her Harley Quinn run. I don't know why Marvel Comics are bringing in DC Comics failed leftovers, but I guess if you're going to give her a chance, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a nice place to put her that no one will care about or recognize or even care what she does with the character. So no harm, no foul, but I am not a fan of Stephanie Phillips and her writing, and she cannot take criticism at all. In fact, friend of the channel, Gabe Hernandez, wrote a pretty scathing review of her Harley Quinn run, and she got really mad about it. I did a video on it, pointing out the hypocrisy of Stephanie Phillips and actually showing proof that Gabe Hernandez in the past had given her Harley Quinn run a positive review a few times. Definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. If you want to know more about Stephanie Phillips, the next failed writer at Marvel Comics, if you don't see it here, there's also a link in the video description.